There is a quiet power that exists within each of USA Power that, when embraced, transforms the very fabric of our lives. It is a power that speaks not through force, but through a subtle yet unwavering clarity. It is the power of setting boundaries, of establishing in our own hearts and in the world around us the sacred space that preserves our peace, our joy, and our truth. Many of us walk through life with a deep sense of disconnection from this power, believing that to love others, we must give endlessly, to surrender ourselves entirely. We have been taught to ignore our own needs, to sacrifice our well-being for the sake of others, and to be endlessly accommodating, even when it costs us our sense of self. But this, my dear friends, is not the path of self-love. This is the path of depletion, of losing touch with the essence of who we are, and of abandoning the very heart of our truth. True love, real love, begins with the deep respect and honor we show to ourselves. And one of the most sacred ways to honor yourself is by establishing boundaries that reflect your worth. Boundaries are not walls to keep others away. They are bridges that connect you to your own heart and soul. They are the language of self-respect, spoken not in words, but in actions, in the choices you make, in the way you move through the world with a quiet confidence that says, I am worthy of peace. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of my own presence. Boundaries are not limitations, nor are they restrictive. On the contrary, they are liberating. They are the invisible lines that allow your soul to expand into its true potential without fear of being overwhelmed, exploited, or diminished. They are the spaces where you find yourself, again, where you remember who you truly are, without the noise of the world drowning out your inner voice. Imagine, for a moment, a garden. This garden is your life, your spirit, your essence. It is lush and vibrant, filled with the flowers of your dreams, the fruits of your efforts, and the beauty of your soul. Now imagine that the garden has no fence, no boundary to protect it. It is vulnerable to the elements, to the animals that wander through, to the weeds that seek to overtake it. Without a fence, this garden is open to anything and everything, both the nourishing and the destructive. But when you place a boundary around that gardenia gate, a fence, a wall of love and respect, you are not shutting out the world. You are simply ensuring that only that which nourishes you can enter. You are making space for your soul to grow, free from the encroachments of negativity, fear, and unhealthy influences. Your garden becomes a sanctuary, a place of peace, a place where you can breathe, bloom, and become all that you are meant to be. This is what boundaries do for your life. They create the space for you to exist fully in your truth, without compromise, without apology. Boundaries are the essence of your self-respect. They are the sacred lines that tell the world, this is who I am, and I will no longer accept anything less than my highest good. But to set boundaries, we must first understand something profound about ourselves. We are not here to please everyone. We are not here to be liked by everyone. We are not here to carry the burdens of others at the expense of our own peace. This is not selfishness. This is self-respect. And when we learn to honor ourselves in this way, we begin to realize that we are not only honoring ourselves, but we are also teaching others how to treat us. The most loving thing you can do for yourself is to honor your own needs. If you constantly give without receiving, if you allow others to overstep your boundaries, you are sending a message to the universe that you are not worthy of being treated with the same care and respect you so freely offer to others. You are teaching the world that it is okay to take from you without offering anything in return, and this, my friends, is a disservice to your soul. Boundaries are not about controlling others. They are about taking control of your own life. They are not about telling others what they can or cannot do, but rather about expressing your needs and making sure that you are not compromising your own well-being for the sake of others. Boundaries are a declaration of self-worth, a deep acknowledgement that you deserve to be treated with dignity, with respect, and with love. And yet, despite the power and importance of boundaries, many of us resist setting them We fear the discomfort that may arise when we say no to someone, or when we stand up for ourselves in the face of opposition. We fear rejection, judgment, and conflict. We believe that setting boundaries will make us seem rude, selfish, or unkind. But in truth, it is the opposite that is true. When we fail to set boundaries, we are being disrespectful to ourselves. We are dishonoring the divine spark within us, and we are allowing our energy, our time, and our love to be squandered by those who do not value us. The fear of setting boundaries often comes from a deep-seated belief that we are not enough, that we must constantly give in order to be worthy of love or acceptance. But this is a lie. You are already enough. You are already whole. You do not need to prove your worth to anyone by overextending yourself, by exhausting your energy, or by compromising your truth. You are deserving of respect, of space, and of peace simply because you exist. When you begin to set boundaries, you will notice a shift in your life. You will begin to feel more at ease with yourself, more grounded in your own sense of purpose and direction. You will begin to attract people who respect you, who honor your needs, and who value your presence. You will find yourself in relationships that are mutually nourishing, where giving and receiving flow in balance. You will no longer feel drained, depleted, or overwhelmed, for you will have created the sacred space to nurture your own soul. Boundaries, my dear friends, are not walls of separation. They are the walls of self-love, self-respect, and self-care. They are the space in which you can breathe, grow, and evolve into the fullest expression of who you are. They are the language of your soul, speaking clearly and decisively to the world. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of peace. I am worthy of my own presence. So I ask you now, what boundaries do you need to set in your life? What are the areas where you have been overextending yourself, where you have been giving without receiving, where you have been neglecting your own needs? What are the relationships, the situations, the environments that are draining your energy and preventing you from living in your truth? It is time, my friends, to take a stand for yourself. It is time to honor your soul. It is time to create the sacred space in which you can thrive. And as you do, you will find that the world around you begins to shift. You will no longer be a victim of circumstance. You will no longer feel helpless or overwhelmed. You will be the master of your own life, and in doing so, you will become a beacon of light for others to follow. Remember this, boundaries are not barriers, they are bridges. They are the lines that connect you to your highest self, to your truth, and to your deepest potential. They are the language of self-respect, spoken not in words, but in actions and choices and in the way you live your life. And when you speak this language with clarity and conviction, you will find that the world responds with the same love, respect, and peace that you have chosen to give yourself. You are worthy of your own love. You are worthy of your own respect. You are worthy of your own peace. And the time to honor yourself, to set your boundaries, is now. May you walk forward with the strength and courage to honor your truth, to honor your soul, and to embrace the beautiful, powerful, and divine being that you are. As you stand at the threshold of this new understanding, let us take a moment to reflect on the profound transformation that is occurring within you. In this very moment, you are shedding the old layers, the beliefs and fears that have held you hostage for far too long. You are unearthing the truth that has always resided within you, waiting patiently for you to remember you are not here to serve others at the expense of your own soul's peace. So many of us have lived in a state of fear, fearing the consequences of asserting our boundaries, believing that we would be abandoned, criticized, or misunderstood. We've been taught that self-respect is selfishness, that honoring our needs is a sign of weakness. But what if, instead of being weak, this is where your true power lies? What if honoring yourself, taking the time to nurture your spirit, your mind, your body, was the most powerful act of self-love and respect you could ever offer to the world? Imagine for a moment that your soul is a vast, expansive ocean. It is deep, boundless, and brimming with infinite potential. But imagine if that ocean had no shores, no boundaries. It would be constantly swayed by every passing current, every wave that came its way. It would be endlessly susceptible to the storms of life, with no protection, no foundation upon which to stand. But when you create boundaries, when you set the shorelines of your soul, you are allowing your ocean to be still, to find its own rhythm, to flow within the beauty of its own vastness. You give yourself the space to breathe, to reflect, to grow in a way that is aligned with your deepest essence. Boundaries allow you to be your truest self without fear of being swept away by the demands, expectations, and judgments of others. When you stand firm in your truth, when you honor your needs, you are not rejecting the world. You are simply choosing to honor the love and wisdom that resides within you. You are saying to yourself and to the world, I am worthy of my own care. I am worthy of my own peace. I am worthy of my own love. And when you honor yourself in this way, something miraculous happens. You begin to magnetize the same energy into your life. You start to attract people, situations, and opportunities that respect your boundaries, that honor your essence, and that support your growth. Your life begins to unfold in a way that feels natural, effortless, and aligned with your soul's purpose. You begin to experience relationships that are mutually nourishing, where love flows freely and without condition, where respect is a given, not something that needs to be earned. But it all begins with you. It all begins with your decision to stop waiting for the permission of others to live your truth. No one else can give you the validation, the peace, or the love that you seek. It can only come from within. The boundaries you set are not walls to keep the world out. They are doors to invite in only that which serves your highest good. They are the spaces in which you come alive, in which you connect with the deepest parts of yourself that have been waiting for you to remember. As you move forward in life, there will be times when you are faced with challenges, when people will test your boundaries, when life will ask you to stretch beyond your comfort zone. In those moments, remember this: you do not have to say yes to everything. You do not have to sacrifice your peace, your well-being, or your truth for the sake of others. Your boundaries are not rigid. They are flexible, fluid, and ever-evolving. They can bend, shift, and grow with you, but they must always remain rooted in the love and respect that you have for yourself. When you choose to honor your boundaries, you are not closing yourself off from the world. You are opening yourself to a deeper, more authentic connection with the world. You are teaching others how to honor your needs just as you honor theirs. You are creating a space where love, compassion, and understanding can flourish, free from the distractions, judgments, and insecurities that often cloud our relationships. And in this space, you find your true power. You realize that you are not a victim to the circumstances of your life, but the creator of your experience. You are no longer bound by the expectations of others, but free to live fully in alignment with your soul's truth. You become the master of your own destiny, no longer waiting for the world to define you, but instead defining the world around you with the strength of your love, your clarity, and your boundaries. This, my friends, is the path of true freedom. It is the path of self-respect. It is the path of honoring yourself, of giving yourself the space to become the fullest expression of your divine self. It is the path of saying, I am worthy of love, I am worthy of peace, I am worthy of my own presence. And as you walk this path, you will discover that the more you honor yourself, the more you are able to give to others. The more you set boundaries that protect your peace, the more you have to offer the world. Your energy becomes pure, radiant, and untainted by the noise of the world. You become a beacon of light for others to follow, a living example of what it means to live in alignment with your highest self. So, take this moment to breathe deeply, to center yourself, and to reflect on the boundaries you need to set in your life. What are the areas where you have been overextending yourself? What are the relationships or situations that are draining your energy and keeping you from fully embracing your truth? What are the boundaries that will allow you to live with greater peace, greater joy, and greater alignment with your divine purpose? It is time, my friends, to honor yourself. It is time to step into the fullness of your being, to create the space where you can thrive, and to embrace the love, respect, and peace that you so richly deserve. As you do, you will find that the world around you begins to shift. You will find that you no longer need to chase love, peace, or happiness. They will come to you naturally as a result of the boundaries you have set in place. Remember this: you are worthy of your own love. You are worthy of your own respect. You are worthy of your own peace. And when you honor these truths within yourself, the world will reflect them back to you in ways that you never thought possible. May you walk forward with the strength and courage to honor your truth, to honor your soul, and to embrace the beautiful, powerful, and divine being that you are. You are worthy of every good thing that life has to offer, and it begins with the simple yet profound act of setting boundaries that reflect your worth. As we continue this path, you will encounter moments that will test your resolve. Life, in its infinite wisdom, often presents us with opportunities disguised as challenges, asking us to stand firm in our truth. These tests are not obstacles. They are invitations inviting you to rise to the occasion, to hold your boundaries with grace and conviction. There will be moments when the people around you do not understand your boundaries. They may resist, they may challenge, or they may try to convince you that you are being too rigid, too self-centered, or too demanding. In these moments, remember this: your boundaries are not meant to be understood by everyone. They are meant to be felt deeply within the core of your being. The world may not always honor your boundaries, but that does not mean that they are not valid. The essence of a boundary is that it is personal, it is sacred, and it is rooted in your divine right to be at peace with yourself. You see, boundaries are not about controlling others. They are not about manipulation or punishment. They are about creating the space for your soul to breathe, to thrive, and to evolve. They are the invisible lines that protect your inner world, that safeguard your peace, your energy, and your purpose. When you set boundaries, you are not rejecting others. You are simply affirming that you have a right to exist in your truth, free from the distractions, expectations, and manipulations of the world. It is in these moments of resistance, when others push against your boundaries, that you are called to stand firm in your power. This is not an act of defiance, it is an act of self-respect. It is a recognition that your needs, your peace, and your well-being matter. And when you hold firm to your boundaries, you are not just honoring yourself, you are teaching others how to honor you as well. Boundaries also serve another profound purpose. They bring clarity into your relationships. When you set clear boundaries, you are communicating to the world exactly what you need, what you will accept, and what you will not. This clarity opens the door for deeper, more meaningful connections, because you are no longer engaging in relationships that drain your energy, that leave you feeling unseen, unheard, or unappreciated. Boundaries remove the ambiguity and allow both you and the other person to operate in a space of mutual respect, understanding, and trust. It is important to remember, however, that boundaries are not set once and for all. They are living, evolving expressions of your ongoing journey. As you grow, as you evolve, so too will your boundaries. What once felt right may no longer align with your truth, and that is perfectly okay. The act of setting and adjusting boundaries is an ongoing process of tuning into your deepest needs, your soul's desires, and your highest good. It is about being flexible and adaptable while never compromising your inner peace or your worth. Now, you may ask, what happens when you do not set boundaries? What happens when you allow others to overstep? When you do not speak your truth, or when you ignore the gentle whispers of your soul? The answer is simple. You begin to lose yourself. Slowly, Gradually, over time, you become disconnected from your true essence. You may begin to feel depleted, overwhelmed, or resentful. You may find that you are constantly giving, but never receiving, that you are pouring from an empty cup. And when this happens, your soul begins to wither, and you lose sight of the peace, the joy, and the purpose that are meant to flow freely through you. But this does not have to be your reality. You do not have to live in a state of depletion. You do not have to live in a constant state of compromise or self-sacrifice. You have the power, the divine right, and the strength to reclaim your energy, your peace, and your truth. And it begins with the simple yet profound act of setting boundaries, of saying no when you need to, of walking away from situations that drain you, and of honoring the divine presence within you that seeks only peace, love, and joy. As you begin to honor your boundaries, something magical begins to unfold. You will notice that your energy becomes more vibrant, more focused, and more aligned with your soul's purpose. You will notice that your relationships become more authentic, more nourishing, and more fulfilling. And most importantly, you will notice that you begin to feel more at home with yourself, more at peace with your choices, and more aligned with the divine truth that resides within you. This is the gift of boundaries, the gift of reclaiming your power, your peace, and your divine essence. When you set boundaries, you are not rejecting the world. You are inviting the world to meet you at the level of your truth. You are inviting the world to recognize your worth, to honor your space, and to see you as you truly are a divine, worthy, and powerful being, deserving of love, respect, and peace. As we come to the close of this journey, I invite you to take a moment to reflect on the boundaries that you need to set in your life. What areas need more space? What relationships need clearer definitions? Where are you giving away too much of your energy, your time, or your love? What are the changes that you can make right now that will honor your soul and create the space for your highest self to emerge? Remember, setting boundaries is not an act of selfishness. It is an act of self-love. It is the foundation of a life lived in alignment with your truth. It is the key to unlocking your full potential, to stepping into your power, and to living the life that you were always meant to live. May you walk forward with courage, with clarity, and with the unwavering knowledge that you are worthy of every good thing that life has to offer. May your boundaries be strong, and may they be an expression of the love, respect, and peace that you hold within. And may you continue to honor yourself, your soul, and your divine purpose, knowing that you are enough, you are worthy, and you are loved just as you are. You are the creator of your life, you are the master of your boundaries, and you are the keeper of your peace. As we reach the final part of this transformative journey, let us reflect on everything that has been shared and understood. You have discovered the profound power that comes from setting boundaries, boundaries that protect your peace, that honor your worth, and that create the sacred space necessary for your soul to thrive. You have learned that boundaries are not barriers to others, but bridges that connect you more deeply with your highest self, allowing you to walk through life with clarity, strength, and divine purpose. The path to true freedom is not one of endless compromise or self-sacrifice. It is the path of reclaiming your divine right to exist in your fullest expression, free from the influence of external demands that threaten your inner peace. And while the road to setting boundaries can be challenging at times, especially when you fear the reactions of others, it is the most loving and empowering act you can make. It is the act of honoring your own soul, your own needs, and your own truth. Knowing that when you do this, you create the space for your life to unfold with ease, grace, and alignment. But now, I ask you, how will you walk forward? The knowledge you have gained in this moment is not meant to remain only as an idea. It is meant to be lived, breathed, and embodied. It is time for you to take the first steps toward honoring yourself in the most sacred way possible by setting boundaries that reflect your worth, your truth, and your divine right to peace. It is time for you to look at the areas of your life where you have been overextending yourself, where you have allowed others to take too much, where you have neglected your own needs for the sake of others? Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what are the areas of my life that require more respect? Where do I need to draw the line and say, this is enough? Perhaps it is in your relationships, those that have drained you, taken from you without offering anything in return. Perhaps it is in your work where you have given tirelessly, but the balance of energy exchange has been off, leaving you feeling undervalued and exhausted. Perhaps it is within yourself, where you have allowed old fears, limiting beliefs, and self-doubt to overrun your thoughts, preventing you from living your fullest life. Whatever it is, know this: you have the power to change it. The moment you say no to something that no longer serves you, you are not only freeing yourself, you are creating space for something greater to enter. You are creating space for peace. You are creating space for love. You are creating space for your soul to expand, to rise, and to be seen in its fullest light. Remember, my friends, that boundaries are not a form of isolation. They are an invitation for others to meet you at the level of your truth. When you set your boundaries, you are teaching the world how to treat you, and you are teaching others how to honor their own needs as well. Boundaries create a ripple effect, encouraging those around you to live with more integrity, more authenticity, and more respect for themselves and others. So, as you move forward, embrace the power of saying no when necessary. Embrace the power of choosing your peace over pleasing others. Embrace the power of stepping into your worth, knowing that you are enough, that you are deserving, and that you are worthy of your own love, care, and attention. This is your time, the time to reclaim your soul, the time to honor your truth, the time to live with boundaries that allow your spirit to soar, unfettered by the expectations and demands of the world. You are not here to give endlessly without receiving. You are not here to be the martyr, to lose yourself in the service of others. You are here to live fully, to live joyously, and to live in alignment with the divine truth that resides within you. And so I ask you now, will you honor your boundaries? Will you stand tall in your worth and create the space necessary for your soul to thrive? Will you choose peace, respect, and love, both for yourself and for those you encounter on your journey? I know you will. You have everything you need to walk this path. And as you do, you will become the living example of what it means to live in self-respect, self-love, and self-honor. You will become a beacon of light for others to follow, reminder that boundaries are not walls to shut the world out, but doors to allow the world in only at the level of your highest truth. And in this space, you will discover the boundless freedom that comes with living in alignment with your divine essence. You will realize that you are not just surviving, you are thriving. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are the master of your own life. You are no longer afraid of setting boundaries because you understand that they are the language of self-respect, the language of self-love, and the language of freedom. So, as we come to the end of this journey, I leave you with this final thought. Your life is your own. It is a sacred, divine expression of who you are, and it is yours to shape, to nurture, and to protect. May you walk forward with the strength, the clarity, and the unwavering confidence that comes from knowing your worth, from setting boundaries, and from honoring your truth. You are worthy, you are enough, and you are loved just as you are. This is your time to rise. This is your time to shine. This is your time to live the life you were always meant to live. And so it is.